Vaca?
Here.
Trustee Geezer?
Here.
Trustee Frizzloni?
Here.
Trustee Shorzy? Trustee McCarthy?
Here.
Mayor Samverino?
Please rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started with our meeting, I'm going to ask for a moment of silence. Our namesake, Miss Carol Stream, passed away on Saturday. So I thought at the least she deserves a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, do I have a motion for approval of minutes of the January 6th, 2020 Village Board meeting?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Geezer?
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy?
Aye. Do I have a motion for approval but not release of the executive session minutes for the January 6th, 2020 Village Board meeting?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee LaRocca. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Geezer?
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy?
Aye. During our listening post, the first thing I'm going to do here is turn it over to trustee Geezer, talk about the Carroll Stream Citizen of the Year.
Thank you very much. The Citizen of the Year nominees have recently been announced, and we'd like to introduce them to the community. This is a program that's been going on since 1966 to honor volunteer service from 1965, and it's gone continuously to the present. I'm honored to be a recipient of the award, as well as trustee McCarthy and trustee Frusaloni. And so we're going to do the honors and introduce the nominees. What I'll ask you all to do is when your names are announced, please stand so you can be recognized and the cameras can see you. And then after everyone has been announced, we'll all join for a photo if you want to hang out with us. So, but thank you very much. Thank you very much for your service. Carroll Stream's always been a tremendous place because of the volunteers, such as yourself. And hopefully this will continue, and I believe it will continue. Kind of part of the DNA of the village to be volunteers. So why don't I turn it on over to trustee Frusaloni to begin the announcements.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to introduce the nominees, the female nominees for Citizen of the Year. The criteria for Citizen of the Year, we break it into several categories. So Citizen of the Year is a person who was nominated by an organization for going above and beyond and doing an awful lot for their organization in the previous year. So this would be for 2019. The nominees for Female Citizen of the Year are Dawn Janke, who is nominated by Our Savior Lutheran Church, Margaret LeBrew, who is nominated by the Carroll Stream Historical Society, Laura Von Drasik, who is nominated by the Carroll Stream Rotary Club, and Yoli Mushni, who is nominated by the Filipino American Association of Carroll Stream.
The Male Citizen of the Year nominees are Clem Malinowski, the Carroll Stream Parks Foundation, Jack Moran from St. Luke's Parish, Alex Roy, Village of Carroll Stream Police Department volunteer, and Bill Pickens, Our Savior Lutheran Church.
The next category that we have is for Special Citizen of the Year. The criteria for Special Citizen of the Year is someone who has volunteered for 5 straight years within our community. We have nominees for both the male and the female category. The nominees for Special Female Citizen of the Year are Vicki Collier, who is nominated by St. Luke's Parish, and Carol Florin, who was nominated by Our Savior Lutheran Church.
And our male Special Citizen of the Year nominees are Jim Benson from the Carroll Stream Park District and Jason Miller from Carroll Stream Youth Sports.
And we have one more category, and that is called the Judges Recognition Award. And this is for a person not living or living outside of the Carroll Stream community who has provided exemplary service to the community. This was also awarded at the very first awards ceremony, and someone by the name of Jay Stream and Elsie Johnson received the awards that year, so I'm sure many of you know their names. The Judges Recognition Awards for this year will be presented to Marina Mattingly, nominated by the Carroll Stream Rotary Club. And Kim and Jeff Wall, nominated by the Lutheran Church of the Master. The ceremony will be on the 1st. You want to tell about that, Mary?
Yeah, the dinner will be held on February 1st, starting at 6 p.m. for cocktails at the Holiday Inn. There is still plenty of room available if anyone is interested in joining us for the dinner. Tickets can be purchased for $40 per person, and it includes the meal, the ceremony, and we have a phenomenal DJ. So please, and raffles, lots and lots of awesome raffles. We have a great committee that has been going around town and putting together some really tremendous raffles. There is a website that you can visit, which is citizenoftheyear.com. So you can visit the website for additional details. I would just, at this point, just like to congratulate everyone on their nomination.
And we'll have everybody come up in just a second, but first, we probably should recognize the fact that we have the chair people here as well. Ron Zach and Charlie Milszewski are here, so thank you for all you. And if the nominees would all come to the center.
Have them behind us.
There's a lot of them, so do you think we have enough room back here?
Yeah.
All right, come on back
Missing
here.
2, 3 board members, so. They take the most room.
Come around.
That's okay.
That's all right.
You're kind of accidental. People, yeah, I know.
There was debate on whether I should do this.
No, you guys go in front.
You're not going to be seen otherwise.
All right, who's going first?
I really am, I'm
Are we
zooming in.
tight enough, Nancy?
Yeah, you're tight enough.
Am I okay? All right. Smile, 1, 2, 3.
Take 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. In case someone blinks.
Yeah, no blinking.
Okay, 8x10s will be in the mail for everyone. That's it, thank you.
Hold on just
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
1, 4, okay, we'll look at Linda.
All right, we're good.
Now let's look at, okay, now we'll look at.
Oh, my goodness, all right. Keep moving, all right.
We're charging them.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And one more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a number of other things on the agenda, but if people, would like to exit and go home,
Take me.
we'd love to have you here, but.
Big cute today, huh?
stage.
It'll work. Yeah.
Filter out. Okay. As I've mentioned at many other board meetings, we always seem to be reading a resolution for somebody who's been here very long-term. And here we are again. Trustee LaRocca has asked to read Resolution 3123 commending Jim Ludman on 30 years of service with the Village of Carroll Stream. Trustee LaRocca?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution commending Jim Ludman on 30 years of service with the Village of Carroll Stream. Whereas Jim Ludman joined the Department of Engineering Services as a village engineer inspector on January 22nd, 1990. And whereas Jim Ludman has extensive engineering inspection knowledge, which leads to exceptional problem-solving, decision-making, and the ability to react to many unforeseen conditions and construction problems on his own. And whereas Jim Ludman has overseen the construction of hundreds of miles of village roads, water mains, sanitary, and storm sewer. And whereas Jim Ludman has received a letter of commendation on December 19th, 2012 for saving the village over $100,000 in expenditures through diligently looking for cost-saving measures and making the appropriate field adjustments on the Southwest Water Main Extension Project. And whereas Jim Ludman has served the village for over 30 years of public service with the Department of Engineering Services. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Carroll Stream on behalf of all former and present elected and appointed officials and employees and residents of Carroll Stream as follows. Section 1, Jim Ludman's outstanding project management skills, production efficiency, and ability to recognize and implement cost-saving measures are hereby recognized and commended. Section 2, Jim Ludman is wished the very best in his future years with the Village of Carroll Stream. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage as approved by law, passed and approved this 20th day of January 2020. And I will make the resolution to approve resolution number 3123.
Moved by Trustee LaRocca, seconded by Trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. And now, after reading somebody who's been here 30 years, we now get to meet a new one. And I think I'm going to turn this over to Bill Cleveland.
Yes, I'd like to introduce Adam Frederick as our new Assistant Village Engineer. Adam is kind of a longtime employee. He was actually a summer intern in 2004. And he went off and got his education and professional engineer's license and worked with some other folks at the Village of Woodridge, who we seem to be getting a lot of employees from, and rejoined us in 2014. He's been with us for 5 years since then, and I'm happy to have him as my assistant, without which I could not get my job done. So thanks, Adam.
Welcome aboard, Adam. Want to come up and say hi?
My wife and kids are supposed to be here tonight too, but a couple of them turned out to be sick, so I'm standing up here alone tonight. But yeah, I started actually as an engineering intern here in the summer of 2004, I believe it was the first time. I came back, did it again in 2005. Then went back to school, finished my bachelor's degree, started my master's degree, and then some poor director of public works in the village of Woodridge decided to hire me. So I worked with Phil there for a little while, but I don't think he could handle me too well, because not too much later, he had to hit the road, so. But, you know, my first 15 or so years of my career has been awesome. The village of Woodridge was great. The village of Carroll Stream is even better. I'm really happy where I'm at right now, and I'm really looking forward to what the next years bring to me. And I thank Bill, I thank Phil, I thank everybody in this room. I thank you all very much for letting me be here.
Congratulations. Before we start the meat of our meeting, we've been asked, there's been a couple comments on an article that came out in the Herald about Windsor Park, and I was going to have our village manager and our public works director kind of talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yes, over the weekend, there was an article on the news regarding Legionnaire's outbreak at the Covenant Living of Windsor Park Manor Center, and there were some reports that the water caused some of the illnesses. It's actually due to the condition of some of the facilities, so I would ask that Phil kind of explain how our water enters the equation and where we get our water from and how it's treated.
We get all of our water from Lake Michigan through the DuPage Water Commission. It's treated in Chicago, sent to us from DWC in Elmhurst. We're kind of at the far west end of their distribution system. We provide over 1 billion gallons of water every year to the community. We know from history related to Legionnaires' disease that it's typically found to occur as a result of its handling inside facilities. All the way back to the 70s, the outbreak of Legionnaires in a hotel, I believe a conference hotel there, to the unfortunate conditions in the VA in Springfield in the last couple of years. It's typically as a result of HVAC systems, humidification systems, boilers, coolers, and the way that water may sit in pipes, and, you know, the chlorine that's injected by the city of Chicago and Elmhurst can degrade over time. So if it's not moved and managed properly, it can cause problems. But I can assure people that you will not find Legionnaires in the distribution system, and no examples that I'm aware of have shown that to be true. So for other customers, this should not be a concern whatsoever.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the update. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
So moved?
Second?
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee LaRocca. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesert.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye. Madam Clerk, I defer to you for the reading of the agenda.
Thank you very much. Under staff reports and recommendations, number 1, contract extension approval, mowing of rights-of-way and village properties with Berry Landscape Management in the amount of $75,860.77 for the period of May 1, 2020 through April 30, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2, contract extension approval, plant bed maintenance with Berry Landscape Management in the amount of $58,275 for the period of May 1, 2020 through April 30, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 3, contract extension approval, street sweeping services with Lake Shore Recycling Systems in the amount of $75,855.13 for the period of May 1, 2020 through April 30, 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 4, personnel policy revision, drug-free workplace.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 5, Commit to Be Fit Wellness Program. Recommend approval of our Well-Being Committee's program, Commit to Be Fit, with an estimated cost not to exceed $5,000.
Yes.
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 Number 6, law enforcement phlebotomy program.
Yes.
Yes.
Under ordinances, number 1, ordinance amending Chapter 14, General Offenses, Article 2, Offenses Against Persons, Section 14.21 Definitions, Section 14.2 for cannabis possession of, and Section 14.232 drug paraphernalia of the Carroll Stream Municipal Code of Ordinances.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-1-1. Number 2, ordinance amending the Carroll Stream Code of Ordinances to regulate the unlawful use of cannabis and possession of cannabis paraphernalia.
Yes.
Yes.
That is ordinance number 2020-1-2. Under resolutions, motor fuel tax resolution for maintenance of streets and highways by municipality under the Illinois Highway Code to use motor fuel tax funds for 2020 flexible payment project in the amount of $3,254,077.75.
Yes.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3124. Number 2, resolution authorizing execution of a jurisdictional boundary agreement between the Village of Carroll Stream and the Village of Winfield.
Yes.
That is resolution number 3125. Under payment of bills, number 1, regular bills, January 7, 2020 through January 20, 2020.
Yes.
Yes.
2, addendum warrants, January 7, 2020 through January 20, 2020.
Yes.
Yes.
And under report of officers, treasurer's report, revenue expenditure statements, and balance sheet for the month ended December 31, 2019.
Received.
Received.
Is there a motion to put those items on consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee LaRocca, seconded by trustee Geezer. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Geezer?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy?
Aye. Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni, seconded by trustee Zalick. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Zalick?
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca?
Aye.
Trustee Geezer?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy?
Aye. All right, report of officers. Trustee LaRocca.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to congratulate Jim Ludman on 30 years of service. And you have to stay another 10. You have to go for 40, so there'll be no retiring for you anytime soon, I hope. Congratulations to all of the Citizen of the Year nominees. I really want to congratulate you now. I should have done this when they were all here. Unfortunately, I will not be able to attend this year. I have a wedding to attend. So I wish you all luck and congratulations, and thank you for your service. Congratulations, Adam. Good job. And thanks for your dedicated service. We're 2 more weeks closer to November, so remember to see who's, make sure you know who's running, do your homework, and get out there and vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but just go out and vote. That is my report.
Thank you, trustee LaRocca. Trustee Geezer.
Thank you very much. I would also like to congratulate all the Citizen of the Year nominees and look forward to celebrating with you and your families at the banquet celebration on February 1st. Congrats to Jim for his 30 years and to Andy for the promotion. Welcome. And it's great that people continue successful careers for the benefit of our residents. We started our meeting tonight with a moment of silence because the namesake of the village, Ms. Carol Stream, passed away at the age of 77. If you don't know, she suffered in a serious car accident in 1957, which affected her for the remainder of her life. She had serious mobility issues, which limited her travel, and she had difficulty in speaking. Her mind was clear and sharp, and she was bright and witty and very clever, but she just sometimes had difficulty getting the words out. Since she was in the accident, her father, there's kind of been a mythology about the whole thing, naming the community and whispering in her ear on her, while she was in a coma, that I'm naming the community after you. And she opened her eyes and she regained consciousness. That's not completely true, but it's a very nice story. We all like Hallmark movies, right? The basic gist of it is true, though, that he did name the community after her as a way to encourage her in her recovery, and we're very happy she did. I had the honor of visiting with her and her brother and her mother at their house in Paradise Valley in 2008, and learned a great deal about the family, and she was very thrilled that she had a community named after her. She was very honored. The one regret she had, the one thing that made her mad, jokingly, was that the high school was named Glenbard rather than Carroll Stream. So, but I reminded her she had an elementary school. She goes, she wanted both. So sometimes people need to be greedy for themselves. And then the last time she visited, and many of us had an opportunity to visit with her at that time, is when she made a surprise visit in October of 2010. And at that time, it just happened to be fortuitous because there was an open house at the fire district that day. There was an open house at the Carroll Stream Elementary School. So I had an opportunity to escort her throughout the community to much fanfare, and many of us had a chance to meet her there. So I raise my glass to you, Carol, and thank you for allowing us to have your name. And we wish you well, and hope you rest in peace. And then finally, I noticed on our weekly report that we've had a number of inquiries about cannabis grow facilities. Don, how many have we received?
We've been contacted by 6 different organizations since the first of the year asking if they would be able to bring a cultivation center to Carroll.
And at this time, we voted to not allow it. I'm again, we can't do anything now, but I'm suggesting we might want to reconsider that since there is a bit of demand to allow grow facilities in our community. It would provide jobs. It would decrease the vacancy rate. We have a very low vacancy rate as is, but it would decrease it further, and it would provide some revenue. So just something for us to consider. That's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Geiser. Trustee Zalick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy. Want to congratulate all the nominees for Citizen of the Year. I will be attending. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty fun time. Congrats to Jim for 30 years. I've worked with Jim, and I've seen him many, many times as my years as a police officer, and he's a good man. So congratulations. Congratulations to your new position, Adam. I remember seeing you two back in '04 and then lately. So congratulations. I want to give my condolences to Ms. Carol Stream and to her family and friends. And finally, I, along with Trustee Geiser and McCarthy, attended the MLK celebration breakfast with some of the police officers at the Wheaton Christian Center. And like like Matt said in the very beginning, there's a very interesting quote on the things that were passed out at the celebration. It says, "We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools." I know he was assassinated back in April 4th of 1968 in Tennessee, but that is such a powerful quote that I hope people in this world start believing in and following, because there's too much adversity and violence. So let's try to get along. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Zalick. Trustee Frusloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I also want to offer my congratulations to the nominees for all the categories of Citizen of the Year. It is an honor to be recognized. And I know most of the people that are being nominated, and every year we hear the same thing. They don't volunteer in this town for the recognition. They volunteer because they love this town, and I think that speaks volumes, especially since we're offering our condolences to the family of Carol Stream. I think she would be very proud, and I know when she visited, she was very, very proud of this town and how it developed over the years. And one of the things that this town is known for is just being very caring and very giving and always having an opportunity if you want to volunteer. There are so many service organizations within our town. So my condolences to the family of Carol Stream. Congratulations, Adam, by the way, on your promotion. Welcome back. I wasn't here in 2004, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing you in 2005. So congratulations and welcome back. I'm glad that you came back to us. And congratulations to Jim. I hope, like Trustee LaRocca, thank you. Now I feel like the mayor for a second. I'm forgetting everybody's names. 10 more years. 30 years, not nearly enough time, so 10 more years is good. We've had some winter weather that has come across the last 2 weekends and projected for this weekend. It's almost like all 3 weekends they're forecasting almost exactly the same forecast. Like the weathermen are trying to get it right one of the 3 weekends. But I just want to give a shout out to Public Works Department and the Police Department, because not this past weekend, the weekend before, on Saturday when it was supposed to be all heck was going to break loose, don't come out of your house, there's going to be just torrential snow and freezing rain and trees were coming down, and then we were going to get monsoon rains and flooding. But as with everything, there were so many different forecasts that we had to prepare for everything. And I had the opportunity to go out with the Public Works Department. I spent a little under, maybe about 6 hours out with the guys. So I started out with Jason Pauling, our street supervisor, and what an eye-opening experience to ride around during the middle of a storm with him and to see. We had plans 1 through 5, and then we made up plan 6 really on the fly because the forecast changed so dramatically after the plow crews went out. But to see things, like our public works crews stopping to help motorists that were on the side of the road. Jason and I stopped there was a minor fender bender on one of the side streets to make sure everybody was okay. Everyone was okay. They said police are on their way. So we left them. We had 2 public works crews that came across a car accident, a car that went off the road and assisted there, trying to help the police department navigate where this particular accident was, because it was in the industrial park behind a building. So it's kind of hard to describe behind a building. I doubt that the victim, who was a teenage driver, could have told the police if he had called 911 where he was. So he was very lucky, actually, where he had his accident, that there was, by chance, 2 plow crews that were there to assist. But it was very, very eye-opening to see how the operation changes from we're going to get 3 to 5 inches of snow to we're going to get 1 to 2 inches of snow. And ultimately, a decision was made that I thought was excellent. Jason made the decision, we're not going to bring in our contractors. It's a small enough storm that we'll be able to handle doing everything, curb to curb, all the cul-de-sacs. So the way our operation works is we bring in our plowed drivers first. They start salting and plowing, then we bring in, at whatever time we decide that we need them, we bring in our water crew, and they help then fill in with contractors to do all of the finishing work. But just a great operation. And then I got to ride in Pinky for about 3.5 hours. Love that snowplow. So cool. But just a great job. There was such a coordinated effort between Public Works and the police department. When there was issues with, people are having parties, there's cars on both sides of the road, and plows can't get through. I don't think people realize that we have a parking ban when there's more than an inch of snow on the ground, and I don't think that they realize how big a snow plow is when they're parking their guests. So the police were phenomenal about when the guys were having trouble getting down a street, we had a police officer there fairly quickly, and cars were getting moved so that we didn't have any real issues. In fact, we were getting ready to call in on one of the streets, and one of the officers that works that zone was actually coming up the street towards us, and he's like, I got it, and we're like, thank you very much, thanks for the assist. So it was great to see how everybody was working together in that, and we're just gonna get better and better with time, unfortunately, we're getting good at this. So, great job, Phil, great job, Steve, please pass my thank you on to the police department. Don, it was your shift that was out that night, you guys did an amazing job, so thank you for all you guys did. And with that, I just want to remind everyone, it's winter. Please check on your friends and your neighbors. We've had some really wild weather the last couple of days, especially we're going to get these really severe cold spells. So please check on your friends and neighbors and make sure everyone is safe. With that, I will end my report.
Thank you, Trustee Frusaloni. Our clerk, Laura Zarnicki.
Well, I also, too, want to join in the congrats to Adam. Hopefully, in 30 years, we'll be here giving you your recognition for your 30 years in. And it doesn't count all the past. It starts now. It starts today. So I also wanted to congratulate Jim on his 30 years, and to all of our nominees. I'm one of the volunteers, too, in town, and it's really great. It's a really wonderful evening to come out and to see everybody there, what they do, and you get to hear extensively how they contribute to the community, and it's a wonderful feeling, and it's a great time. And also, it was very saddened to hear about Carol Stream as well. I didn't get the pleasure of meeting her, but obviously, we've learned a great deal from all of you guys. So my condolences to everyone affected by that tragic loss to us. So other than that, just keeping our military and first responders in mind, keeping them safe out there on our streets, keeping us safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I would also ditto congratulations to Adam on his promotion. Congratulations to Jim Ludman, and also my condolences to the family of Carol Stream. I don't think anybody said.
I was getting. Good job. Somebody always remembers. Thank you very much. Our village manager, Bob Mueller.
Thank you. On tonight's agenda, one of the items is, and that the village board approved, was to allow our police department to participate in the law enforcement phlebotomy program, not the lobotomy program. So they'll be doing blood draws, not brain surgery. And this is becoming more important, and I want to recognize Sergeant Brian Cleaver, who spearheaded this effort. It's a very select program. There's only 11 in the state that have been approved for this type of work. And it's becoming more important now that recreational cannabis has been legalized in Illinois. In the old days, you used to be able to smell it in the vehicle. Now with consumables and other types of cannabis, it's becoming harder to detect. So this will greatly aid them in that effort. And Brian's also a drug recognition expert, so this is right up his alley. On behalf of Mayor Savarino, who is out of town, and the entire village staff, we give our condolences to the family of Carol Stream. I know she had a stepsister. Unfortunately, her mom and dad passed away several years ago, and her brother recently passed away. But she passed away on Saturday, shortly after her 77th birthday. Congratulations to Adam. Adam will also serve as the acting village engineer in Bill's absence, so we welcome to the management team. And congratulations to Jim Ludman, whose 30-year anniversary with the village. And then finally, congratulations to the 2019 Citizen of the Year nominees. We look forward to attending this ceremony.
Thank you very much. I will join in sending condolences to the family and friends of Carol Stream. It's always been kind of fun saying, yeah, our town is named after a living, breathing person who's alive, and people were always surprised that, no, it's for the creek. No, really it's not. But, so I'm sorry, I'm very sorry for her passing. Jim, congratulations on 30 years. That's a long time to be anywhere. And as Trustee LaRocca said, hopefully it's a number of more years. Adam, congratulations. I'd say welcome aboard, but you've already been here, so good job on the move up. Besides that, of course, the Martin Luther King celebration today was different than in previous years. The planning committee, which it's in collaboration between the Outreach Community Center, Our Savior Lutheran Church, Wheaton Christian Center, and the Village of Carol Stream. And actually, Tia is on that planning committee. You want to give any insight into that planning committee, Tia?
Well, this event has been going on for many years, and they felt it was important this year to breathe some new life and a different perspective into it by allowing it to happen during the day as a breakfast, to incorporate more music and more opportunity for conversation with the people that you sat with. And we were very excited to see a significant turnout this year, especially with the fact that we changed the time.
Yeah, and the interactions at the table was, there was a lot of talk about it with the Restore group doing the roundtables. I thought that was a nice little touch and add, and the Wheaton College Gospel Choir was outstanding. They really were, and if you ever get a chance, they have a program that they run. It's the high school and college programs director, but they do a SALT class, a SALT group, which is they take kids on college tours who may have never had the opportunity to go to college, and they go on these tours, they come back excited, and then the Outreach of Wheaton Christian stand right shoulder to shoulder with them, walk them through studying for SATs and making sure they stay on task. And every year we hear from at least one or two kids who've graduated or are going to college for the first time, not just them, but their whole family. So I think it's an unbelievable program, and we should do what we can to support it. Got an idea there. And the last thing, bags. I didn't mention dates last time. It'll be a busy end of February and through March. So we've got February 18th, 19th, 24th, 26th, March 3rd, 4th, and March 9th, and then March 11th will be our bags final. But also on the 7th and 8th, which is a Saturday and Sunday, we'll be holding kids tournaments on each of those days. The kids tournaments, we're going to split the proceeds between Ronald McDonald House up by CDH and the Carol Stream Police Department Special Olympics. So if you got any kids from 3 to 16, have them sign up. It's $20 a team. And a 16-year-old and a 3-year-old can play together because we moved the line based on age. So last year, actually, the younger kids, I think, were kind of beating up on the older kids a little bit. It should be a great time again. We're looking for both adult and kid teams, and if anybody wants to donate any raffle prizes, we've gotten a number of them, but we sure could use more. We donated about $21,000 last year. I'd like to just break that. I won't stick a number this time. I really would love our group, and our group is Mary, Laura Zarnicki and her husband Paul, my wife Linda, my daughter and son-in-law Tim and Shannon Foley, Sarah Marcucci, Jean Mondrala, and the whole Sabolowski family. I don't think I missed anyone, and Nick Porter. That's our bags group, and they always do. Everybody jumps in to help, and we're looking forward to another successful year. With that, we have no executive session, so I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Frusaloni.
Yeah,
Yeah, second by trustee Zalick. Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesert.
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem McCarthy.
Aye, we are adjourned.